What is that song?
Yo, that is that fire. That's my boy Damien Bowen. You can see him on YouTube. You can hear him on Apple Music.
What else?
Tidal.
Spotify.
Anywhere you can hear music, look up Damien Bowen.
SoundCloud.
Wow. My dog is there busting.
LimeWire?
Yeah, bro. Pull out your shit. You know, you're going to get a virus, but it's worth it for this. All right? You know, you ever seen like a fine chick and you like, oh, don't touch her. You know, she dirty. She got herpes or AIDS or something, you know, you just sit there, you like, you know what? She bad enough. And then, you know, that's this.
Hey, welcome to the Squad Goals podcast.
Don't put that last part.
I'm AJ.
Don't put that last part.
And to my left.
Bilo.
And to my right. That was such a dramatic silence.
It was worth the wait.
I was ready for him to like, D-Lo.
Yeah.
It was worth the wait.
It fits it.
Hey, and to my right.
It's Devon.
And you know, it's a Squad Goals podcast every Tuesday and Friday. As you know, on this show, we like to keep it raw. Rugged. And uncut. Yeah. Just like the hit Adam Sandler movie, Uncut Gems.
Smooth.
I thought you were going to talk about circumcisions.
That was as smooth as a uncut gem.
We saw Uncut Gems recently, separately, but within the same 48 hours. What? Except for Devon. Yeah, and
I don't watch Kevin Garnett. Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Well,
he's in the trailer.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Uncut Gems. I know D'Angelo wanted to too, and I thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite movie this past year.
And that's all we gotta say. No, it was just I feel like it was super tough or like tense. It was tense all the way through. You were just like, yeah, exactly. No, that's how it was. You're just slow it down. Slow it down for like.
Slow it down.
5 minutes. Like, just like, give me a chance to breathe. Because it was just a movie about a guy in over his head for like 2 hours of just anxiety. It does. Because you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, everything's falling apart around him, and you're just
in a hole. His back was against the wall, and there was nothing he can do basically to try to get out of the situation.
And also, then when he does have a chance, like they drop the ladder down, like this is my chance to get out of this hole. He kind of just cuts the ladder, like cuts the rope, and just like I'm confusing my metaphors, but he just like he has chances to get out, and it's just
I like it here.
And I'm just gonna keep on digging in deeper, and it's just like
gotta dig them holes.
And it's just like
going for the big win.
Yeah, and it's just like it honestly, I've never seen a movie probably, as far as I know, tackle the concept of a gambling addiction. I can't think of another movie that handled gambling addiction. There's a ton of movies about addiction. I think there's movies about porn addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcoholism, all of it. But I've never really seen a movie about gambling addiction.
I mean, there has. I just can't think of
movies about gambling.
Yeah.
But like to the fact of like, I feel like this was a relatively accurate portrayal of a gambling addict of like, I gotta gamble. Like,
put it on black.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to get that. Hit the big one, baby. Like,
$100.
You know,
I'm gonna turn it to 100,000.
And also, I don't think I've really seen a movie like that focus on like sports betting as much.
Yeah.
You know, like you get the casino movies, like, hey, give me a 7. Well, that's all those famous casino movies. Give me a 7.
I'm trying not to spoil it for Devon or anything like that, so I can't really talk too much.
I'm trying to keep it relatively spoiler free. I'm giving the basic concept, which you could kind of pick up from the trailer, but it's just it was.
He bets on Kevin Garnett. No, wait, doesn't he steal Kevin Garnett's championship ring?
It's complicated.
And then don't.
Can we talk about it?
There's probably gonna be like some kind of like.
We could go a little spoilerish if Devon's fine with it.
Shaving.
He doesn't steal it.
Are you fine with some spoilers?
Yeah.
Let's go into some spoilers. Hey, if you don't want to be spoiled by this movie, skip ahead like 5 minutes. You'll see me wave my hand on the video.
What?
And on the audio,
you'll
just have to skip around. But spoiler alert.
I'll go, ah! When you hear the, ah! It's safe.
Okay. Spoiler alert. He kind of steals the ring in a sense, but like he has something that Kevin Garnett wants and he's like,
his booty.
He goes, I'll trade you temporarily. I'll hold on to your ring. You take the thing.
Kevin Garnett wants to hold the ring because he's so infatuated
with this rock, this like gem he has that's supposed to be worth like $1 million. He says, and they're like, let's switch. But Adam Sandler is such a gambling addict that he pawns the ring for like a temporary loan to bet on games, and like the whole movie is him just in a hole because he is constantly just ripping people off or selling stuff. Like, hey, let me see your watch real quick. Like, I pawn it. And I'm like, okay, but when I win, I'll get the watch back. And then I can give him it back. And then I made it ahead. And it's just like, everything's collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. And like, nothing is going right for this man. And he has like the ending of the movie, since we're spoiling, Kevin Garnett's like, I'll give you $175,000 for this gem. Right? Easy. Like
worth a lot more than he initially paid for the ring or for the gem.
Yeah, and it's also that solves all his problems. He owns money to some bad characters. He owns money for this. He owes like money all around town. That would save it, and he would probably even walk away with some money, right? And then it's just like that scene. He just is talking to Kevin Garnett, and he's like, he was just like they having this intense conversation, like, oh, you know. What do you put your worth, like, when you're at the game? Kevin Garnett's like, how much did you pay for this rock? Like, what are you trying to get ahead? Like, you made your money, essentially. Like, I'm summarizing it, but, like, you made your money. Like, what are you trying to get out of this? Why are you playing all these games with me? Just, you could have sold it to me in the first place. But he was trying to be greedy and get more. But he's like, oh, when you're up by 1, you don't just stop. You keep on going. Like, let's see what the Vegas odds are for you right now. And then he's like, let's just make a bet. And he bets the 175. Like, he's just like, let's bet it. Let's just bet it right now. Hey, you're feeling good, right? You got the rock. Let's bet it. Let's bet on you, baby. And it's just like, what? Like, you solved your problems and you're just going. And like,
I think that was the beauty within him, though. He can convince Kevin Garnett that the gem is valued a lot more, and then inspire him to play two really great games from the feeling that he got from the gem.
I don't think Kevin Garnett even got that from him. Like, I think it was, he looked freaked out in that moment where he's like, yo, what's going on? Like,
well, at the end of the movie, he had mentioned how...
He does say that, but I think it's also like, that's what gambling addiction is. Like, you're always going to bet. You're in a hole financially, and you're going to bet and bet and bet and bet, even though you don't have the money to recoup your costs and you're borrowing money to just make more bets. He gets the money to solve all his problems. Well, bet it all. Like,
there's no definite that he would have been fine because he owed everybody money.
Well, so, I'm just saying, like,
it was a huge
$175,000 is helping his cause a lot. He could easily get a lot of people off his back if he just went.
He was a gambling man.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I'm going to end the spoilers unless you have something else to say right now.
No.
Okay, and we're back from our spoiler moment of the podcast. Funny hijinks. You should go see the movie.
You should.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, me too. The cinematography.
I don't know if I would give it my number 1 movie of 2019, but it's probably in the top 5, top 10. Somewhere on that list. I haven't really ranked it.
Good mark.
I adored it.
I closed the book on 2019 rankings after the year. If I didn't get to it, even if I loved it, I don't put it on my list.
I think we should start a movie podcast where we simply just talk about movies,
actually
film, TV.
A really good idea.
I don't know if people are interested in hearing that or seeing that. Let us know in the comments.
Comment down below.
Or let us know in person, whatever it may be.
Mom.
You know, another thing I want to talk about since we're talking about things we're watching. I've been watching a television show that I am obsessed with now. And I had a friend who got me onto it. We were watching some Disney Plus.
Ooh.
And
Disney Plus and what?
it was just Disney Plus.
The dick.
It was just Disney Plus. And
Yes.
I was told by this friend to watch the first episode of the show. We watched it, and I thought it was funny. And I went, whatever, never watched anymore. Till recently.
Even Stevens?
No, Gravity Falls.
Oh, okay.
Has anyone seen Gravity Falls?
Gravity Falls.
I've seen a couple episodes.
It is so good. And I think watching it in order, it rewards you because there's so many like hidden jokes and like callbacks to previous episodes or just jokes that you wouldn't get if you weren't watching it in order. So many little things become like that were in the background become big. There's an overarching mystery. And I think the humor is really good too. Mm-hmm. And they like made a joke literally that one of the older characters was watching a kid's show and like said something like, "Oh, why are you watching a kid's show?" He's like, "Oh, I know what you're going to say. Like, oh, you think some jokes go over the kid's head and there's a mystery. So you could and like he's making fun of like the things people say about that show, like of why adults. Yeah. But like they literally put every opening credits, there's like a series of numbers and it's like a puzzle that you can try to decipher to help solve the mystery. And it's been really good. I only have a couple episodes left. It's not many episodes. It's like 40 altogether, like 20-minute episodes. So like 10 episodes of like an hour-long show a season. But it was like, it's been good. I like it. And I feel like I get a lot of Courage vibes from it. Because there's like...
the Cowardly Dog?
There are some moments in that show where there's like some spooky moments. It's not as spooky. It's not as spooky. Nah. But it's still...
Scooby-Doo-esque.
No, because there was...
Except for, instead of monsters being fake, the monsters are...
I don't think it's spooky for adults, but if I was a kid, I would be like, that's creepy. Like, there's some moments that I'm like, I'm surprised that... I've said it multiple times. I'm like, I'm surprised that's in a kid's show. Like, there was one thing where they're, like, in a haunted mansion, and they walk into a room with, like, all stuffed animal heads, and then all the animal heads come alive, like, on the walls, and they're speaking Latin, and they're pouring blood from their eyes, and, like, speaking Latin backwards. And I was like, that's a little intense. Yeah. It's not... I'm not...
Depends on what kind of kid you were growing up.
But I'm like, I'm not watching it as an adult going, whoa, my God, I gotta close my eyes. Yeah. But I'm just like, is it as scary as Courage? No. But...
You guys remember Courage?
Oh, I remember Courage.
What was the scariest moment in Courage?
Fucking ghost with the tablet.
That guy. Oh yeah, with the face.
That was
creepy.
That's like the CG one, right?
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's go-to.
That was like the.
Well, there was a few of them. What makes it scary though is like when they have a complete change in animation. When to like you have the regular Courage and then the creature is something different. Always like creep me out. Like the girl playing the violin.
Oh,
you remember when he opens the door?
Creepy. Yeah.
That was creepy.
The fucking pigs that own the gas station restaurant / kitchen in the back, and they're trying to cook up Muriel.
Yeah. I never liked the cat. He was in a few episodes. I just never liked the cat.
He was always just like more like sleeky slick with
I just didn't like him. I just
remember the Egyptian tablet one when he like released the plague, where he just like created the locust and stuff like that. That one was
I mean, that was like all like good horror stories.
The computer was sassy as fuck.
Yeah, like I was just about to bring up the computer.
The British.
Yeah. I like it was all like these really creepy horror stories, like made kid version.
Yeah.
Like I thought like that in Are You Afraid of the Dark was another good one where it's like it takes these genuinely like you could make an adult horror movie of like these stories and make them kidified. And I'm just like, I like that. I think there should be more of that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. I like I like when it's a kid show isn't trying to hold back of like the scary moments.
Midsummer animated? Are you down for that?
No.
What's that one?
I mean, I'm down for it. Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
I
No.
didn't watch it. I watched the trailer.
Solo.
Yeah.
Solo the animated
Solo
series.
Animated.
I would actually watch. I would 100% watch.
Centipede animated.
Yeah, the crazy thing is there was like a period in like the 80s, early 90s where like they would take these adult movies and make them into kid shows because they're like, how do movies make money? Oh, toys. But RoboCop is an R-rated gory movie. Kids aren't going to buy toys, but we make RoboCop the animated series, Beetlejuice the animated series, like all these movies that like they're just like making an animated series of it because we need that, we need those toy money coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like for the most part, kids shows do play it timid, like or like they're afraid to go like kind of like what we're saying, like full horror, like a courage. I think
maybe with horror, but I feel like with like
comedy,
adult content and like context and like comedy, it's a different.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
different day
I
and
think
age. It's not even subtle anymore or subliminal. It's right in your face.
I think the Gravity Falls was the closest, but I still don't think it was like I said, it's not a courage level horror, but there was just moments that I went, oh, they didn't hold back. They went, they probably put it in and went like, Disney's gonna tell us to take it out, and they're like, no, whatever. Rick and Morty references in that show too, by the way. Their showrunners are friends, so it's really good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
Should watch it. I'm obsessed. I think it's really funny. It's a good humor.
I have a really good courage impression.
Let's hear it.
Muriel. Ooh,
the things I do for love.
That's good too.
You know what?
Or the computer. Ooh, dog.
Was that how the computer sounded?
So yeah, it had the British accent.
I guess. I don't remember what the computer sounded like.
Nah, I can do better.
Stupid dog. You made me look bad. Ooh.
What is... there's only one correct answer. The quintessential made-for-kids TV show, but it's really for adults show out there. There's one correct answer that I will accept. This is not an opinion.
I think like
question.
Adventure Time.
It is a show that was made for kids, but it was really made for adults because it's that good. Kids can still watch it.
SpongeBob?
No.
Adventure Time, I think.
No.
What? Regular show?
Avatar the Last Airbender is the correct answer. It is.
That's not for adults. It's for teenagers.
It's for everybody.
It is.
It's for everyone.
I want to rewatch it. I want to buy the Blu-rays. It is very...
The storyline is fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not... Like, adults would appreciate the storyline more than kids. It's made for kids. Kids and teenagers can watch it and like it. But, like, you get more out of it as an adult.
You went a whole different way than what I thought of.
There's martial arts.
It could
There's,
be everything.
like, awesome fight
Kids
scenes.
like martial arts?
Awesome cinematography. I'm just saying, like, I think an adult can sit down and watch it and get
that was
as much enjoyment.
Adventure Time.
That was whack.
No.
If you're looking for cinematography fighting, you go to Samurai Jack.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
You go to Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, I think
that's good.
is a better.
That's
if you want the storyline and the action, it's Samurai Jack. Yeah. But if you want the adult humor that is all in a nice, bubbly, colorful thing, Adventure Time or the regular show. Are the only two. Or SpongeBob. SpongeBob threw a lot of shit in.
All the new Cartoon Network shows are like that, like Flapjack.
Yeah. Flapjack was fire.
Yeah.
I didn't like Flapjack.
You didn't like Flapjack?
I didn't like Flapjack.
Flapjack's alright. Big Mama.
I'm sticking by Avatar. Watch the last episode of season 1 and tell me that isn't art.
It's art.
But
you said
where the moon disappears and it goes black and white, but then the fire like shows color and then like it's all red hint. It looks amazing.
Kids can
I watched that last like a few scenes from that last episode recently. That's why it was fresh on my mind.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. That's made me want to go and get the Blu-ray. And
what I did like what Avatar did was it started off like, you know, kind of more childish.
It does.
And then whenever they released season 2 with like Korra, they made it a little bit more adult because the kids who were watching it then grew up a little bit, and now they.
I have not seen Korra. I want to. There's like a Blu-ray I want to buy. I was gonna watch them all, but
Korra's good.
I will say that is, I think, the hardest part about getting an adult to watch Avatar is there's a huge curve. those like first couple episodes are very kid like made for kids. Where if I feel like if I gave it to an adult, if I told my dad, hey, watch Avatar, he probably wouldn't want to get like by episode 5, you'd be like, why did you show me this? But as you go, it goes like, okay, we're going to get more adult. We're going to get more mature. Like the kid, there's still some like funny little kid jokes for like babies. But for the most part, it's like super cool action, super cool storyline.
I agree with
Eastern philosophies in there.
Yeah.
Creepy things with the ghosts, the spirit world. Like the centipede that like changes faces. And if you change your facial, like... That's all cool. That's all cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and I agree with that, but I don't think that it was necessarily made for adults, like you say. I think everyone can enjoy it, yes. However, I mean, it can be a show for kids and for adults, not necessarily made for adults.
You can tell the creators of like Adventure Time, a regular show, are like
I never watched any of those.
Or like some like young adults who are like, yo, we're gonna put our flavor in this.
I have a sophisticated comedy palate, and I've never watched regular show or Adventure Time.
Wow. Well, then I guess you'll never know the joys of making bacon pancakes.
I don't know what that means, and I refuse to acknowledge it.
You make some bacon.
I've watched it very passively with my younger brothers. Shout out to you guys, Mark and Junior. I watched it passively with them, but there's a lot of adult humor. Like it's all adult humor.
I never watched it,
and it's pretty funny. There's times where it's very high intensity. I feel like the shows nowadays, it's like really really quick, and the dialogue is quick. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of moving parts, and like back in the day when I was growing up, like shows were a lot slower. Yeah. You know, now is I guess the attention span.
You got those YouTube attention spans. You got to keep them going.
The Uncle Grandpa show?
No,
that's literally a
that's
ADHD
so
like
Uncle Grandpa
acid trip. Like it's literally just a bunch of flashing screens. Nothing really makes sense. There's like a live tiger, but everything else is cartoon.
Oh, I've seen like images of that.
A walking pizza. It's just a dragon type shit. Like nothing makes sense. Yeah. Everything is just like, oh, we're going to go help this guy. Fucking Uncle Grandpa's like inside of his fanny pack. Then he's outside. Now he's a woman. Now he's not. Now he's a car. You're just like, what the? And it's not.
How did we get here?
And nothing is like in a story. Like it's just shit that's happening on your screen. And then at the end, it's just like, thanks for helping, Uncle Grandpa. You're just like, what did he do? He literally just did a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even
it's so
follow
crazy to see how different like things have changed and how the cartoons and movies have changed within like 15 years.
Well, I think it's also like a lot of the kids from like our age are now getting to the age that I think we're going to be making animated cartoons for the next generation of kids. So it's kind of like somewhat inspired, and I feel like we're slowly hitting the point where like now we're gonna probably see stuff that represents our style of animated shows, if I'm making sense.
I don't want to see that.
Where it's kind of like, I think like it's gonna be kind of callbacks to the 90s, early 2000s type of shows. Yeah. Not necessarily remakes, but like that style, maybe slow it down, different art style, and I feel like
or it just gets faster and just flashing colors on the screen.
That probably is true because I feel like kids don't watch TV.
Yeah. They're just trying to grab your attention.
They just watch their iPads and their YouTubes. Hey, kids.
Hey, kids.
They're watching us right now.
Yeah. They're our subscribers.
And you know where you can watch us?
Where?
If you can go to...
Speaking of YouTube.
YouTube.com and look up the Squad Goals Podcast because that's been our episode for this beautiful Friday. Friday. If you want to listen to this podcast,
I do.
You can go to iTunes.
Where else?
Google Play.
Where else?
Stitcher.
Where else?
Spotify.
Ooh. Spotify. If you don't find us on Spotify, we'll throw you 5.
That's been our show.
Oh, and Pornhub.
Oh, yes. This is actually the second episode on our new platform.
To you kids out there.
Pornhub. The kids watching Pornhub, you can look up the Squad Goals Podcast.
Because
At night, I don't really go out. Tonight, me and my boys gon' roll up, then blow out, go up to your house. Lately, you ain't answering the phone, wow.
Oh my God, you're overkill.
I'm like, yo, what's your deal?